afternoon to all our friends from Santa Cruz County Public Media. I am very excited and very thankful because we're running again another Meet Your Local Candidates. We're very thankful for all of them. They keep, coming to our studio because that's what we want. Our goal is for all Santa Cruz County to get to know our local candidates, to get to know their background, what they're running for, and we would love for everyone to register to vote. And that's why we're here every week with our local candidates. I have the pleasure today to have Carola Romero. She will be a write-in candidate for Santa Cruz County Treasurer. And before I introduce her, I want to share a little bit about her. She born and raised in Nogales, Arizona. She graduated from Nogales High School in 2003. She is an Army National Guard from 2004 to 2007. She worked from 2005 to 2007 as an active guard and reserve joint force. She was in the headquarters of Human Resources, and the list goes on. So I am very excited to introduce her. Carola Romero, welcome to our studio. I am very excited to talk to you about everything about you running as a candidate for Santa Cruz County as a treasurer. So welcome to our studio.
Thank you very much, Maritza. I appreciate you giving me this opportunity to introduce myself to the community,
of course,
to you as well, so you could get to know me better, but most importantly, to the people so that they can know more about me and the reasons why I'm running. First and foremost, I'm running because I feel we the people often forget that we are the leaders. It's not the people that we elected into office that are the leaders, we are the leaders. And we have to take that control back in order to make the community a better place for all of us. So that's why I'm running.
Thank you so much, and welcome, and thank you for being here. I always get very excited for having females running for candidates for a position of leadership in our county, nationwide, anywhere, because we also can, show how strong women can be in both places, being, multitasking, having a family, but also, running for a leadership position. I've been going through your social media. I've seen you around in our community, doing community work. And before we go to all the work that you're going around to get to meet people in the community, tell us a little bit about yourself. I think, all of our audience from We Love Nogales, they love to hear about our leaders here in our community, about what do they do, what is their background, what is their knowledge, and then why are you running for treasurer, and then we'll talk more.
Okay, so to leave off where you said, I did serve 3 years in the military, Army National Guard, and that's where I started the professional office setting. I was human resources. So in human resources, you deal with all the public records for every single member of the Arizona National Guard. So I did that for 2 years. I was discharged honorably in 2007. And from there, I stayed in Phoenix until 2011, where I got offered a job with the Arizona Southern Region Alzheimer's Association. Mm-hmm. So there I was an office manager for 3 years, and I was in charge of the cash flow coming in through, whether it was through donations or events that we held, like the Walk to End Alzheimer's. Mm-hmm. That's one of the biggest ones, and also through conferences that we had. I did that for 3 years, and I decided to come back to Nogales, to come back to Santa Cruz County in 2014, where I started working with my family. It's been a family business for about 40 years, and we do agriculture and produce supplies. Awesome. So I'm in charge of the office. I do everything, the accounting, the account reconciliation, payables, receivables. What a normal company would have 2 or 3 people do, I do it. I'm the one that runs that office, and
multitasking
all the time. All the time. Yes. And that's where I get the knowledge and the experience that I feel is needed to represent the people as a county treasurer. So,
and thank you for your service too.
You're welcome.
I've seen some of your banners, and
Yes, ma'am.
I've seen one that let's talk about what does a treasurer do in Santa Cruz County, and why do you want to run for that position? I think it's very important for everyone, for all of our community that always watches our programs. They're getting to know our leaders in our community, the people that are running for a specific place on our county, or sometimes on our city. So what does a Santa Cruz County treasurer do?
Well, first and foremost, we have to understand that it is our money. It is not the government's money. It is our money. And it is our money that is being mismanaged, mishandled, misused, and I mean, with everything that's going on, it's being stolen. So you normally see the position of county treasurer and don't think much of it, but it's deals with the cash flow that's coming in and going out of the county, and it's pivotal in empowering the economic growth and enhancing our well-being as citizens, and that's the main priority of our leaders. And unfortunately, the complete opposite is happening right now. And it's time that people are held accountable for the lack of oversight that is going on in this county. And that is why I want to run. I want to manage people's money. I want to be responsible, and I want to be a part of the growth that we need in this community. It's lacking. We have our economic growth is minimal. And no one goes to a treasurer's office with a smile on their face because they're paying property taxes, especially when they see our roads are a mess. There's trash everywhere. I've never seen so much trash in Rio Rico. It is unbelievable. And so no one goes into that department knowing that, with a smile on their face, knowing that their money is being taken care of, because it's not. And so that's what the Treasurer's Department, that's why I want to run. I want to be a voice and an advocate for the people inside. Like everybody in this community, I complain all the time about everything that's going on. And that's how we do, and it's easy for us to forget, and it's easy for us to hold our local officials accountable. And I think it's time that we start doing. That's why we need someone from the inside, but I'm also building a team of concerned citizens on the outside, so that they could be my voice on the outside, and I could be their voice from the inside, and together we could build a strong support for the community.
Thank you, and thank you for sharing all those thoughts about what is happening in Santa Cruz County, and the position of a treasurer, and what it takes, and then at the same time how it involves the whole community. You just mentioned, there's other things that we're worried about outside, like our places there, it's being trash all around, and so holding people accountable. And with that mentioning holding people accountable, I saw some of your banners. One of them mentioned Carola Romero for writing candidate for Santa Cruz County Treasurer, and you mentioned clean house, external audit, investigate, answer to the people, stop misusing the people's money. And it's what you're been mentioning. And then you mentioned, I will work for the people and only the people. It is the people's money. What does this mean? You touch base in very strong words, but very meaningful, I think, for all of our audience, for all Santa Cruz County. But what does this mean for you?
So first, every new administration, you want to build clean house. So what do you want to do? You want to you want to be a part of building a team. Mm-hmm. So you start from the very beginning, and if I were to go in, it's nothing personal against anyone else that's currently there, but I do want to be a part of the hiring system. So everybody that works there will have to reapply. So first and foremost, right there, clean house, building my team that I trust. And I don't need to know you in order for me to be able to trust you. No one goes into a job thinking, yes, it's a lot of favoritism plays in, in this community. But aside from that, no one goes into a job knowing someone and knowing that you're going to get hired just because you know that person. So clean house first and foremost. The second is an audit. They tell us that they're doing an audit, and we hear this all the time, but we never see the result of that audit, and we never see anything come out of that audit. We never see any investigations. This is not the first time the taxpayers get swindled like this. It's not the first time. It didn't start with the former treasurer, and it definitely does not end with the former treasurer. So there's been investigations, and I feel that the leaders use that as an excuse for us to stay quiet, don't question them, and you'll forget about it, because we do forget about what happened 2, 3, 4, 20 years ago. And so I want to make sure that whatever comes out of the audit, whatever comes out of the investigation, that the people know. They have every right to know. Exactly. And I feel what happens is the leaders hide behind the fact that there's certain things that they could do that the law allows them. And that's not the case, because we see leaders find loopholes in everything, only when it's convenient to them. But when it benefits the community, they're not going to fight to find that loophole to make sure that the people, that the citizens are aware of everything that's going on. So that's what I mean about audit and an investigation. And when I say that I'm only going to represent the people, I'll work in that building, and those people inside that building are my coworkers, but I hold no loyalty to them whatsoever. My loyalty is to the people, and I only answer to the people, and I will fight for the people as much as I can. And so that's what I mean by fighting for the people, because it's we the people. At the end of the day, it's we the people.
Yes,
so.
And thank you for sharing that. I think that's very important for us as citizens to get to know all this information, what's going on, what's happening in our county. And as sad as it's, happening, it's here, it's in our county, getting to know that there's leaders in our community, that they're willing to step in and work for all of us, for the county, for our money. It brings a sense of positive too on our area, and get to know live when we're doing all this. We love Nogales, meet your candidates. It's great because we get to see you live. We're not editing. We're inviting everyone to do the same, because that's what we want. We want all our people from Santa Cruz County to go outside and register to vote, so we can all vote basing on our, on what we know. All of our programs with our leaders will be live, will be on Spotify and Roku TV, on Amazon Fire, and We Love Nogales, TikTok, Instagram, all these platforms, because we want to expand all of our knowledge with candidates, with leaders like you, that you're coming, presenting what you have, your values, and at the end, go and work for the people's money. So thank you for sharing that. I know you will be a write-in candidate. Right. So tell me what that means. Tell us what that means, and tell us how that works, please, so we can.
So in this situation, because of everything that happened, there was only one candidate on the ballot. And in order for anybody else to be in that ballot, they had to be a write-in candidate. So I decided to be a write-in candidate as an independent, which means that my name will not be on the ballot whatsoever. I will automatically go into the general election, and you'll have to write in my name in order for you to vote for me. And I did have the option when I went to go turn in my paperwork. They told me if I were to switch to either party, Democrat or Republican, and if I were to win the primary under either party, that my name would appear in the general ballot. And I chose not to. I feel that being a county treasurer, since you are dealing with the people's money, it's a bipartisan position. And it should be a bipartisan position because all of us are affected equally by everything that is going on. So I'd rather lose than be associated with any party because, like I said, my loyalty isn't to any party. I don't want to owe favors to anyone. The only people I have to answer to, the only people that I owe favors to is the voters, the citizens, and that's it. That's why I chose to be a write-in candidate. So that's what a write-in candidate means, that you missed a deadline to be on the ballot. So in order for you to go on and win to the general or win the general is for people to write your name in.
Are we going to be able to see your name somewhere so we can remember once we're gonna write it in? Or how does this work? And I think it's important for all of our audience to get to know what does it mean when we have to write in her name,
Right.
Carola Romero. Are we gonna know this like on the side? Are we gonna have a cheat sheet, or we just need to get informed, go outside, watch We Love Nogales, watch
Right.
So what does that mean?
So in the general election, my name will be, from my understanding, they'll have a little paper right there that says write-in candidates. So you have to write in the name as correctly. If it's
Exactly.
misspelled in any way, it's an invalid vote.
It doesn't count.
So they will have a sheet right there available for the people that go in to vote to the county or whatever precinct you're going to vote in. They will have a sheet with all the write-in candidates.
Okay,
So you have to
great.
write it in under county treasurer and exactly as it is, as I put it.
And your name will be as
Carola Romero.
Carola Romero.
Yes, ma'am.
And you will be able to see Carola Romero's information on our screen, to her information on Facebook, on Instagram, her banners. Thank you for sharing those with us, with the community. Anything, Carola Romero, that you want to share about your background? Because
Okay.
then I really want to invite our audience to get to vote, to register to vote, and we're gonna share some dates about voting as well.
Okay, so going back to my educational background, I have obviously an MP diploma, and I also have a bookkeeping certificate and a degree in business management.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I still want to keep going, yeah. But you can never learn enough, right? But
Right.
I think experience and education goes hand in hand, but it is also important to, in my view, we hear the same candidates saying the same thing: accountability, transparency, and it's just words. It's just slogans that we're tired of hearing, and what we need is action. We are tired of words, and that's all we're hearing right now. And so going back, I am going to talk about another thing that motivated me to run. It's the budget. So if you look at the budget for 2022, 2023, if you see, we gave the county $131 million, an excess of $131 million. Of that, just under 64 million was reported as spending. So that means approximately 67 million was not spent, or it probably was. It's one way or another, it was, but it wasn't reported, or was misreported, or it's somewhere else in the budget, and who knows where it's at. And for the following year, they're asking for 10 million more. They're asking for 141 million more dollars. So if the county only spent 64 million, what is their justification for asking for $141 million? That doesn't make sense to me. And if you look at departments, one that really caught my attention was the supervisor's budget. The supervisor's office received a little bit over $26 million. Of that $26 million, they spent under $8 million. And yet, for the following year, they asked for $2 million more. They asked for $28 million more. So if they only spent $8 million, why are they asking for $20 million more than what they spent the previous year? It seems like every election, the voters are asked to pay more in property taxes. And the way they get us to vote for these taxes increases is by telling us it's for the children, or it's for law enforcement, or it's for first responders. But if you see the budget, the money is there. It's just not being allocated to the right departments. And it's a shame. It's a shame because our firefighters, our EMTs, our law enforcement are having to work overtime in order to make a living here. They're having to work 72 hours a day. 72 hours straight.
Right.
And what's going on does not make sense. And what happened with the Treasurer's Department, it's a complete lack of oversight by the people that we elected to oversee our money. There's a department that oversees the Treasurer's Department, and there's one department that oversees the whole county, and they failed. If it happened one time, that deposit that they're saying that, that they did one time, if they did about 6 times. If it happened once and it was caught, that's understandable. At least you caught it. You were doing your job.
Yes.
But $4 million and you did not notice, that is, you're failing at your job.
Yes.
And you need to take responsibility. Instead of all we're hearing from the county leaders is the same scripted statement that it's under investigation. And they use that, we understand what an investigation is. We understand that there's a lot of things that you cannot share with us. But the way I see it is they're telling us that in order to keep us quiet. It's under investigation. Once the investigation is over, we'll give you the results. But those results, we never see them.
Right.
So in the real world, if you were responsible for overseeing that money, $4 million, you would be forced to resign or you would be fired.
Yes.
And what needs to be done this election is we need to hold those people accountable because they're not even taking responsibility. Whether they were involved directly or indirectly, it doesn't matter. Exactly. You need to take responsibility for your lack of oversight. Yes. You failed at your job. You failed at your job and that's it.
And very well said, because at the end, that's what we want. We want to have a successful county. We want to have successful leaders and people around those leaders that are backing them up with the work that we're putting every day. You mentioned, the first responders, which, they put their lives at risk every single day. I will always admire them, and I feel so much respect for them. I have one at home too. Yeah, so my husband is a fire captain in Nogales, and all those, all those things that you mentioned, they're important to talk about. We know that we always come and sit down and show all the great things that our leaders are doing here in our community. But when things like this are happening, we also have the responsibility to share, to let them know, and also the responsibility to invite leaders like you that they're running for a position to get to know them, and for us to get to know why is this important, why is so important for us to register to vote in Santa Cruz County, why is so important for us to get to know our leaders in our community, and also what can we do about all this that it's happening. We have the right to go and ask, and like you mentioned, we know, we hear always the same, it's under investigation, but I think our community is growing also in education. So it's great also to know that there's more of us wanting to know information, and also exigirles a la comunidad que nos dejen saber ese conocimiento de por qué está pasando y qué es lo que va a seguir después.
Right. We have to understand that we are the victims in all of this. We are the victims, so the leaders, it doesn't matter how long you've been there, whether you've been in there for a year or 30 years, you are our leaders, and we will keep asking questions. And they're trying to quiet us down, and it's not. It should not work. We should not let them win. We're a lot stronger. Like how you said, I think we are more educated. The problem in this community, I feel, is we vote not based on logic, but based on friendship and based on who we know, who we went to school with, who we're related to. And that is the problem. And we also don't hold anybody accountable because of that same mentality. And that needs to change, because if you want change in this community, you have to educate yourself. And you also have to think about outside the box and look at the bigger picture of everything that's going on. Not only in the county, but also the city. How many times the taxpayer has been swindled? This isn't the first time. Like I said, it happened with, Rio Rico Properties, when they sold those thousands of acres to Vatir. That account went into default over $6 million. And it was in a span of 20 years. If one of us would have done that, even for $1,000, our houses, our properties would have been auctioned off in about 3 years. And obviously right here, it seemed like it was favoritism. So that happened, and I don't know if I think people forgot, but back in 2006, the city of Nogales raised our sales taxes. And a part of that increase, we were promised that some of that revenue was going to go into the new hospital. Where is that hospital? We haven't seen it. It's not here. But our sales taxes are still going into that hospital that was never built. They kept on using excuse after excuse. Originally, the Bell family had offered part of their property to build a hospital there, free of charge. Wow. And the city set the excuse that it's outside city limits, so they didn't want to fund that. So then the Escaladas came in, and again, they offered their property for free. And again, the city, for whatever reason, declined that offer, and our sales taxes are still going into that hospital that's still not built. And we forget these things. And it's time that we bring all this up and hold them accountable.
Definitely. And how important also it's to be involved in those meetings, the city council meetings or the supervisor board meetings, for us to get to expand our knowledge. Or sometimes, if we're afraid to go because it will be our first one, because we have never been there, it's okay. It's always the first time for all of us. We just need to go sit down over there, listen, and then get to know who are the leaders in our community. And maybe, we can inspire also other leaders in our community to run for the next term, because that's what we want. We want to have a knowledgeable community to make good choices for our leaders that will be representing us. So.
Right, and right now the school districts and the fire districts definitely need our support. We need to go to those meetings, because the money that was deposited into someone's LLC, that was money that was supposed to go towards the school districts and the fire districts. So we need to attend the NUSD meetings. We need to attend the Santa Cruz Valley Unified School District meetings. And the fire district also has meetings. Yes. And we need to be a part of that, because they need to know that we support them and we are there to ask questions.
Yes.
Hopefully our supervisors, our leaders go to these meetings so that the public could stand up and defend the school districts and the fire districts.
Yes, thank you.
So
no, go for it.
No, because there's no words to describe what happened. It's a shame, and we end up losing. We're losing.
Yes,
we always lose.
Yes, and thank you for sharing that. I think it's very important to also have that educational, insight for all of us. Let's go, let's attend those meetings, let's register to vote. So Carola Romero, write-in for Santa Cruz County Treasurer. How can you encourage people to vote? I know we can still register to vote. The last day to register is July 1st.
Right.
So how can we encourage all these young high schooler graduates that they're turning 18?
So
and on and on.
If you're upset at the direction that this county is going towards, if you're upset that your property, your hardworking money is being misused, and if you want change, it's time to vote. It is, you have to get out there and you have to vote. You have to vote for the right people. You have to vote for the people that not only look good on paper and sound good on camera, but that show a passion to actually help the community, that want you to hold them accountable when they do something that they're not supposed to.
Yes.
We need to change this community. You look at Sahuarita. Sahuarita's only been around for 30 years, and their economy is thriving, and ours is at a standstill.
Yes.
I feel like sometimes we are going in reverse. And to the people in eastern Santa Cruz County, I feel that our county leaders have taken them for granted. I read a report a few years ago that said that they are paying more in property taxes compared to the rest of Santa Cruz County. So we wonder why eastern Santa Cruz County residents wanted to leave Santa Cruz County and go to Cochise. Well, it's because of this. It's because the county leaders, they were taking advantage of that area. And I encourage those people in that area to go out and vote.
Yes, yes, definitely. So July 1st is the last day to register to vote. So everyone, we need to get inside Santa Cruz County website, register to vote. We don't even have to go out to the county and register.
Right.
We can do it automatically, electronically. And then July 3rd, it's early voting begins and early ballots are mailed. July 19, it's the last day to request an early ballot by mail. So I think it's even, easier. We're gonna receive our ballot by mail. We can vote, put it back in the mail. And again, we don't have to go vote, make lines or anything like that. So please go register. We still have time. We still have 2 more weeks to register to vote. And then election day, it's July 30th. And if you want more information about voting, about the candidates that are running for Santa Cruz County, always go to their website. It's on the Santa Cruz County website, and call them and ask them questions for register to vote, and watch all the candidates that are being here from We Love Nogales. They will be on Spotify. If you listen to Spotify, they will be in YouTube, Roku TV, Amazon Fire, and of course Facebook. But thank you very much, Carola Romero, for Santa Cruz County Treasurer. Anything else? I don't want to leave anything behind.
No, that's it. You could trust me. I will fight for you. I will fight for you until I can't fight anymore. And my goal in all this, win or lose, is to empower the people of Santa Cruz County and let them take over this county once and for all. And that's all I want.
Thank you. Very inspirational.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here to represent women as well. Yeah. And thank you for your service. And thank you for taking that lead. I really will love to see more candidates, to get to know more generations and encourage them to be leaders, to be candidates in Santa Cruz County or in the city of Nogales. So thank you so much for that leadership to inspire others. And we wish you the best luck. We will see you soon to give us an update. You will be a write-in candidate, and we're gonna write your name as Carola Romero in the ballot. Your information will be in We Love Nogales. Thank you for watching us. We will be doing interviews all this week, next week, and the following weeks because we want to make sure that we get to know our people, we get to know our leaders in the community. So thank you for watching us. We'll be here in our studio tomorrow. We'll be doing a couple of interviews too in next week. Send us your questions. Invite all the community leaders that you know that they're running for a specific position. This is your place, this is your studio, and everyone is welcome. Thank you for watching us, and thank you for being here, Carola Romero.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye.
Yep.